Galimera. Good morning. As you can see, I'm back on my phone again because I've got to be honest, it was better for interaction with you than using the tablet, although the picture screen is a bit smaller and I can't turn it that way because I don't think my phone allows me to do that, so I have to keep it that way. So anyway, let's just have a look what's going on. First of all, just to report, Mr. Pickles is looking a lot more lively today. In fact, look at him jumping about at the moment. I'm pleased about that. We were a bit concerned about him yesterday, not being, probably not being too well at the moment, but it looks like over 24 hours he's perked up. Are you all right there, darling? Yeah, you have perked up, haven't you? Oh, bless him. So there you go, there's Mr. Pickles. Got to show you something else as well. I was going to show you this yesterday, but I actually forgot. Now, if you look down here, guess what? Can you see it? We've got an egg in the old veg rack. Yeah, it seems one of the chickens has been coming. We call her Dorothy. She's like our oldest chicken, and she'd been sat in there for a day, and then she come out, and lo and behold, we've got an egg in there. We haven't picked it up yet and checked it to see if there's a chick in it or anything else like that, which I'm not sure there might be or might not be. But anyway, so there you go. There's an egg in there as well. Right, let's have a quick look at the weather forecast then for today. Can I just say thank you to the lovely Amanda, who is not only my concise weather girl, she's also a roving reporter today. I'll give you the weather first. She says, morning Ginge, Saturday's weather, sunny and very hot, temperature 31 degrees, feels like 33, have a great day. She then sent me a message this morning with a photograph saying, got up at 2 AM by dogs barking, looks outside at the rear of our house and there's a raging fire. Woke neighbours, rang the fire brigade, 4 trucks turned out, 2 investigators also came out as well. Scary moment, the land is like a tinderbox with extreme temperatures during the day, and it just took hold, but all is okay. I know what it's like. We've had the same here, where we had a fire one evening, and I must admit it was early evening, so again everybody was out of their houses with hose pipes and everything else, and you kind of realise that when these fires get hold, there is very little you can do to try and extinguish it, and you do rely on the fire brigade turning up. With the heavy equipment, you can only, shall we say, slow the fire down a bit. You won't put it out, but you'll slow it down a little bit while they turn up. But anyway, I'm pleased that you're okay, and thank you for your roving report this morning as well, which was very interesting, and that obviously you're okay as well. Right, just a quick look. Anything else at the moment? Yeah, just to remind you, don't forget today, England is playing Ukraine today. So that is a quarter-finals. That's happening over in Rome. The 3 Lions that had hoped to travel to Rome, just out of interest, this is for this crunch match, may be not allowed into the stadium unless they have been quarantined or can show proof of their residency. Anyway, the Italian embassy says they will ban those who have been in the UK in the last fortnight. So all those England fans over there, good luck trying to watch the game. Just being close to where the game is might be as good as it's going to get for you, unless of course you're a football VIP, and then the rules don't apply. You can do whatever you like, go wherever you want, and you know, you're just a law unto yourself, aren't you? However, just to let you know, kick-off tonight, 10 PM Greek time here. That's 8 PM in the UK. Again, Magdalena's is going to have that up on the screens. I don't know, I might pop in there tonight, or I might watch it here. I haven't quite decided yet what I'm going to do, or what we're going to do at the moment. So, but anyway, good luck England tonight with the football. Right, let's have a look at who's coming today here to beautiful Zakynthos. Got some interesting news on that as well. At the moment, we've got 1 flight from the Czech Republic. We've got 3 coming in from Hungary. We've got 1 in from Athens. 1 flight in from Paris, France. We've got 3 flights in from Amsterdam. 2 in from Germany, 2 in from Italy, 1 in from Romania, and guess guess what? We've got 2 flights in from the UK today. One is a BA flight that's coming in at 15:40 from London Heathrow, and we've also got an EasyJet London Gatwick flight that's coming in at 18:30. Jane is going to be meeting that flight this evening anyway at 18:30. So there you go. Those are the arrivals for today here in Zakynthos. Now, when it comes to COVID, in the last 24 hours, I'm afraid the infection rate is going up, but then again, it's always going to go up because of the testing that's going on at the moment. At the moment, it's on its rise for the 3rd consecutive day. This is what the Greek press is saying. It was 761 on my last report to you. It is now 771 new infections across the country. 4 new cases were identified after checks into the country. That is up from 1 on the previous day. When it comes to local infections, no reports of any infection here on Zakynthos, which is good, or any reports from Kefalonia, which is also good. So that means for the month of July at the moment, even though we're into the 3rd of July, we've had no new cases of infection at all here on Zakynthos, which is even better news. When it comes to deaths, unfortunately, deaths have crept up again. Yesterday, you might remember, we had probably our lowest death rate, which was 4 across the country. Unfortunately, now that death rate has gone up to 10 new deaths across the country, bringing the total to 12,722. The average age of those people, 79 years of age. 96% of them had underlying health problems or were over the age of 70. When it comes to the ICUs at the moment, good news is that those numbers are down. 189 was the number I gave you the other day. It's now down to 186. 124 of those are male, 62 of those are female. Average age of people in ICU, 67 years of age. 83.5 have underlying health conditions or are over the age of 70. So there you go. That's the COVID stats for today. Let's look at the news then. Right, this is a local news report that was published in the local press, and it is this: Jet2.com and Jet2 Holidays have suspended flights and holiday packages to orange list destinations, which also includes Greece and us here as well in Zakynthos, until July the 18th, pending government decisions on British travel. Now, the Jet2 group welcomed the government intention to open quarantine-free travel for fully vaccinated Britons by July the 28th, when school holidays begin. The vaccination programme is already a huge success, so it's time for all of us to enjoy the benefits of this success, Jet2 underlined in its announcement. Anyway, the group assumes that any change made to its programme, there will be automatic cancellations and refunds. There will be communication with customers with proposals for summer gateways according to new data. The programme for green destinations continues normally. However, for Turkey, which remains on the red list, flights and holidays are suspended until July the 21st. The announcement concludes that the group will continue to consider its entire programme according to government briefings. The government is seeking to lift restrictions within the UK on July the 19th, paving the way for international travel. Referring to this issue, Prime Minister Boris Johnson said more information about the government's plans to allow fully vaccinated travellers to avoid quarantine when returning from orange destinations will be revealed in the coming days. Well, we're all going to sit with bated breath waiting for that. Anyway, speaking during a visit to a car factory in Sunderland on Thursday, the British Prime Minister reiterated an earlier statement that travel abroad would not be, at least this year, as it was before the pandemic, stressing that he could not promise that summer vacations will be without problems. So he's not fully committing to the fact that you are going to go on your holiday without any problems. And certainly if we're on the amber list as far as things are concerned, he's still not making any promises that you are going to be able to go away. I just wish he would just say, sod it, get on with it. Let's
fact, let's just open up next week and let's just get back to some form of normality. He did say, however, he was confident that the full vaccination would work literally and allow people to travel. That seems to be his answer for everything. When you've got a problem, you ask him a question, he'll just go into, hasn't the vaccination programme been such a resounding success, and not actually answer the question that you first asked. Oh, is it raining today, Boris? Well, I'd like to say it might be. However, I would like to say that the vaccination programme has been very successful towards guiding us in the way that the weather should be running. So anyway, Boris, we're pissed off with you, mate. Just make a solid decision and say that everything is okay. You can come on holiday, whether you're jabbed or not. Just take a PCR test before you fly, and so you can go away. You really are milking this to the ultimate. Anyway, going back to Jet2, they've said all estimates are that travel decisions will take effect during the first full week of the school holidays at the end of July. Tourism Minister Nigel Huddleston has also denied reports that the government wants to keep Britons on holiday in the UK this summer, saying the UK travel industry employs 100,000 people and therefore the government concern is to keep industry fully so that there is a recovery in both outbound travel and domestic and inbound tourism. Listen, we know people want to go to the UK, so make it easy for them to come on holiday, as well as making it easy for your own people. If they want to go away abroad, let them go away abroad. They've done everything that you've asked of them. Some of them have been double jabbed. People have locked down. People have lost their jobs. People have complied with the rules. Why, the certain elite within the UK just waltz on as if it's nothing to do with us. We'll do as we want and sod the rest of you. So again, make a solid decision. Anyway, coming back to Greece, pressure is mounting on the unvaccinated in Greece. That's me. The Greek government makes clear that the inoculated are at the front of the line as the country returns to normality, insisting that Greece's economy and people and social activities are not going to be shut down again to protect the unvaccinated population, and the financial support will no longer be offered. The government insisted on Thursday that it is vaccinated people who will enjoy the most privileges as the country returns to normality. There we go. Why do you want me vaccinated? Why are you so keen to get me vaccinated? What is so special about me that I need to be vaccinated? Anyway, at the same time, it's tightening the squeeze on the unvaccinated. Thursday announced restrictions on inter-regional travel. Well, I'm not going away anywhere at the moment, so I'm still on the island, so I can't go anywhere. Inter-regional means basically going off the island, going to the mainland, and vice versa. Anyway, more specifically, he said that if the unvaccinated wanted to travel to the islands, they can only do so after taking a rapid or molecular test. Well, I'll do that. That's €6 from the pharmacy down the road. Doesn't worry me. I'll certainly do that. The measures come on the back of a series of initiatives this week, stating that with the offer of €150 incentive to young people, the bribe, shall we call it, for the 18 to 25-year-olds to get vaccinated. This was followed by a division of companies into those with vaccinated employees and others with mixed area vaccinated and unvaccinated. So basically what they're doing is they're going to get the private sector to put the pressure on. If you're not vaccinated, you won't have a job. And what's more, we'll put the vaccinated workers in one location and the unvaccinated into another. I think that's called discrimination, isn't it? I think that will be the new discrimination now. I am an unvaccinated person, so therefore I'm not worthy to be in your company if you're a vaccinated person. And you know, it was nice yesterday that I was meeting people yesterday who were coming up to me and saying, Ginge, I'm not vaccinated, good on you mate, crack on. And it was nice to meet people in the same vein, in the same frame of mind, who says, I'm not rushing to have this vaccine, I'm not completely sold on it, I still think there's more to come out of this vaccine, There's already somebody telling me yesterday that by having the vaccine, it actually lowers your threshold for other illnesses that could occur, where your immune system is basically being put out of kilter, so that you will get something else other than the vaccine, other than the virus, and it will obviously not help you fight that infection as a secondary or third infection. Anyway, highlighting the government measures that the vaccinated can return to normal and the unvaccinated cannot. The Greek Prime Minister was emphatic on Thursday, stating that there will be no horizontal restrictive measures again for September, but only localised ones, and this will concern people who have not been inoculated. So basically what they're going to say there is that they will turn around and say, right, we'll let the local areas decide whether the unvaccinated will not be allowed to go here or there or everywhere if there seems to be a spike in something going on. But again, it's going to be another form of what's the word I'm looking for? Another form of discrimination. You know, it should be your choice whether you have the vaccine or not. That's my choice, not your choice for me. It should be my choice. I don't want it, I don't want it. And you know what? You're making me dig my heels in even more. You're not convincing me that it is any better to have the vaccine than not have the vaccine. All you're telling me is, if I don't have it, bad things are going to happen to me. And I don't mean in the way of my health. I mean in the way of me just living and working and doing things as any normal human being would expect to do before the actual virus ever became a thing. Anyway, at the same time, the Deputy Prime Minister, he also stressed there will be no more financial support for companies, as with the case until now. Well, the thing is, I think that's a load of rubbish. I think you can't afford any more financial support. So basically, this is your little get-out clause to say, well, if you're not going to conform, oh, that's it, we're not going to give you any help. It's the fact is that, hey, maybe you're going to need the help because you're not letting us work because we're not vaccinated, so therefore we can't go back to work, you know. Anyway, on the contrary, the vaccinated, he said, will gradually regain their normal pre-pandemic life, along with the rights that were restricted in the previous months, as has already begun to occur. Well, all we've seen at the moment is 1 minute you say one thing, the next minute you say another thing. There is a privileged class moving around doing whatever the hell they like without any hindrance or anything, as if, no, that's all right for them to do that. Talking about football, VIPs, and also the politicians going from place to place when they could do a Zoom conference, but no, we've got to go there instead. But the likes of you and me, we can't go on holiday anywhere. We can't go visit our parents. We can't fly out just for a quick visit to see people, you know, whether we're vaccinated or not, and that's the other thing, all right? Anyway, the Greek press at the moment understands that if there is an outbreak of a fourth pandemic wave, there will be a lockdown of companies that accept both vaccinated and unvaccinated workers on their premises. They said that the Deputy Minister said on Thursday that only 0.28% of those vaccinated had contracted coronavirus, suggesting clearly that the risk of contagion among the vaccinated is very small. Well, you've had the jab, haven't you? So what is the point of that statement? Again, irrelevant. Oh, let's put the fear up. Let's boost the fear. Anyway, I'm moving on. Anyway, interestingly then, Greece is among 9 countries in Europe which have told India they will accept travellers who are inoculated with the Covishield, that's the Indian-made version of the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine. An Indian Foreign Ministry source said on Thursday that Austria, Germany, Slovenia, Greece, Iceland, Ireland, Spain and Switzerland had confirmed that the Indian government, that the Covishield would be accepted for the purpose of travel. So there we go. The Indian-made knockoff, or shall we call it, is now acceptable in those countries, including Greece. Is the Delta variant still going to come with them? we'll wait and see. But anyway, and a nice story yesterday that made me laugh. Here's it go. It's all a bit heavy this morning, I can see that already. It's England 2, Germany 0. A nice score. Angela Merkel backs down after crunch talks with Boris Johnson and confirms that double jab Brits will be able to travel to quarantine free to Germany, and she even congratulated the Three Lions on their win at the football on Tuesday. Anyway, Chancellor Merkel yesterday met with the British Prime Minister Boris Johnson at his Chequers residency. Merkel announced at a press conference that German travel rules will soon be eased for double jabbed. She says that fully vaccinated Brits will be able to visit Germany without quarantining for 14 days. The German Chancellor comments paved the way for a quarantine-free travel for double jabbed. It sounds like an ice cream, doesn't it? The double jabbed across the EU. If you remember, just this past week, basically they were trying to stop Brits travelling abroad using the Delta variant as an excuse, even though they had been double jabbed. So again, it's not to do with COVID, it's more Brexit. Let's get real on this. And there's a lot of smoke screens going up. Basically, the Brexit agenda is coming into play. She's pissed off with the way that Britain is moving forward on its Brexit agenda, and basically this is another little way just to put a little bit of salt into the wounds as well. Plus as well, I don't think she's 100% happy that Germany was beaten in the football on Tuesday as well. Anyway, at the moment all UK travellers have to self-isolate on arrival in Germany for 14 days, and there's no exceptions to that rule whether you're double jabbed or not. But we'll wait and see if she lives up to her promises as well. Politicians make a lot of promises, but they don't always deliver. All right. Anyway, another nice little story for Zakynthos at the moment. The number of tourists from Romania visiting our island has increased, and on Thursday afternoon at the Zakynthos International Airport there was an official reception of the airline Blue Air, which took place, which started the flights from Bucharest to various Greek destinations. Obviously, Zakynthos is one of those. Now, the Blue Air Boeing 737 landed at 7:30 in the evening at the airport, and there was a big welcome by the airport authorities and businessmen in the area who worked together to bring the tourists from Romania to the island of Zakynthos and also to Greece. It's worth mentioning that the efforts to fill the big gap created by the absence of British tourists and to bring visitors from many European countries are magnified in many ways. Now, tourist agents from the island who see the difficulties from Great Britain are not only related to the pandemic, but they are also assisting in this direction. That's a very Greek statement there. Anyway, now that we are in July, according to the article, we are seeing an increase in flights at the airport, and there is a better climate for the course for the season this summer. Indicatively, we should mention that today's Friday, 45 flights were expected, and that will bring a sufficient number of tourists, always for the data of the coronavirus era. And out of interest, there was approximately 100 passengers on that flight in from Bucharest on that very first flight. But again, the gap is still there. The British are still being missed. You still see it on the streets, you still see it in the bars, the restaurants. The British non-presence is still a major influence. And no matter how many other nationals come from other countries, they're not filling that gap because it's the way culturally that they are. It is the way that they spend money, different to the way that the Brits will spend their money. The Italians like to spend their money on the beach, on activities. They don't spend money in bars and restaurants. They will spend money and pay a lot of money to stay in accommodation. And the reason is, in their own country, it's very expensive to go away on a holiday there. And also, it's very expensive to go and stay in accommodation there. So again, it's checks and balances with all of these nations. The Polish and the, I mustn't call them Eastern European because they're not, okay, but those kind of former Soviet states that have got their freedom and can travel, some of their currencies are not recognised outside of their locations where they live, so therefore they can't spend money in the way that their other nations can spend money. So again, they rely heavily on the all-inclusive holiday to give them a holiday. So again, things are still not panning out. We still need the British. It's going to take a long time for these markets to mature and actually bear fruit, shall we say, which will be of relevance to people keeping businesses alive. Anyway, another story that came in literally hot off the press this morning, shocking Kefalonia, our neighbours across the road. There was an accident in which 3 people lost their lives on Thursday. The accident occurred on the provincial road of Argostoli. According to information, 2 young people, a 20-year-old by the name of Paniotis and a 17-year-old girl by the name of Eferia, lost their lives. Now, according to what became known, the young persons were riding a motorcycle from Argostoli to Livoris, and it's under unclear circumstances they ended up hitting and dragging an elderly man who was a pedestrian. As a result, the machine overturned and the 3 people lost their lives. Now, according to testimonies, the motorcycle which the 2 young people were riding had developed high speeds, and the driver lost control, colliding into the old man. Now, the 75-year-old man died instantly, while the 20-year-old rider of the motorcycle died a few minutes after the accident. Now, the 17-year-old, who was the passenger, she was fatally injured, and she passed away while being transported to the hospital in Argostoli. Now, the other dimension to this was that the girl's mother is the pathologist of a clinic at the hospital where the 17-year-old girl was transferred, and almost everyone in Kefalonia knows her. Anyway, the 2 young persons were in a relationship, it seems, as could be seen on their social media profiles. Paniotis had a love of machines. He worked with his father, who runs in a company that does house insulations, and he also had a karate school in Argostoli. Now, the road where the accident occurred is, the locals call it treacherous, and they said that other people have been killed in the past, and in fact 3 years ago a 27-year-old man lost his life on that same road. Now, the exact causes of the accident are still being investigated by the traffic department, and once again our condolences to the family for their losses. It must be absolutely terrible that the woman at the hospital has her own daughter being brought into the hospital, and her daughter has passed away. So once again, that is a mega story at the moment over in Kefalonia, and once again we send our condolences to the families of those involved, the 75-year-old man, the boy, and also the girl as well. Anyway, the Greek national basketball team have beaten China, yes, and are a step closer to qualifying for the 2020 Tokyo Olympics in the men's basketball. The victory secures 2nd place in Group A for Greece, with advances to the tournament's semi-finals, and they will face Turkey today. So that'll be a match, I'll tell you. Turkey versus Greece. If it's not England versus Ukraine, it's Turkey versus Greece. In the basketball, because trust me, basketball is massive here in Greece. Anyway, and finally, a nice happy story. Did you watch the movie Knives Out? Did you see that film in 2019 with Daniel Craig? Brilliant film, really funny, really enjoyed it. Well, guess what? Knives Out 2 is now being made here in Greece. That's right. Daniel Craig, Dave Batsara, Catherine Hayne are currently shooting at the moment on the island of Spetos. I'm not sure where that is, but it looks a beautiful place. The director of the film, Ryan Johnson, took to social media to announce the beginning of the film's shoot on the Greek island. Anyway, sharing a picture from the sets of Knives Out 2, the filmmaker expressed his thanks to the lovely, patient people in Greece for letting us do all this murdering on their peaceful shores. I like that. Anyway, Knives Out, which was released in 2019, which was an excellent film. I really did find it. It was one of the best films of 2019. It's basically a film about a master detective who's investigating the death of a wealthy family, and they're all really dysfunctional. And Jamie Lee Curtis was in that, Michael Shannon was in that, Don Johnson was in it, which was a right surprise, and the late Christopher Plummer. If you want to watch a movie, a good movie, watch Knives Out 1, alright, and then get ready for Knives Out 2, which will probably be out sometime next year at some point. But again, this is great that Greece is now gearing up now. I think it's got about 21 major motion pictures that are going to be shot here in the country. Greece at the moment is really trying to push itself forward as a great place to come and make films with its scenery, backgrounds, and also the most important things, the tax breaks as well, because that can also decide on whether a film gets made somewhere or not. Anyway, that's it for the news for today. Let's have a quick look at those people tuning in. The great thing about my phone is that I can see everybody that's looking in. Quick shout out to Dave Matthews, Alf Ling as well. Rachel Hanson is watching. Steve Hinkling over there in Stoke-on-Trent. Lovely having you tuning in, fella. Dennis Patrick Carroll over there in Cyprus is tuning in. Once again, no more news on Wiggy at the moment. Wiggy Winstanley, he's still, as far as we're aware, now back onto a general ward. I spoke to his wife yesterday, and she again thanks everybody for their support and their kindness towards Wiggy, and he is slowly getting there. And he's had a few issues, a few problems, but he's slowly getting there. So again, we'll keep our eye on Wiggy as well. Also, Delia Gazzetti is also tuning in as well. Also, Shane Bowen up there on Exmoor. Can I just thank all those people who tuned in to my dance anthem show yesterday? There was a bit of a glitch yesterday on the server, so my show actually didn't end up going out till 11 o'clock last night, our time here, 9 o'clock in the UK. But thank you to all those people who stuck around and then came back for the show. I'm not sure what's happening with the show today, whether it's being repeated at 7 p.m. or not. I'm not sure. I've not been told on that. But I will put up PR just to confirm. I think everybody's going to be watching the football tonight, to be quite honest, to see how England fare against the Ukraine. Also, Shane Bowen says, Gallimera Ginge, it's a bit damp here today. What a great show last night. Have a great weekend. Thank you very much, fella. Also, Mandy Jolly is tuning in as well. Maria Hadelberg in Sweden is tuning in. Nice to have you as well. I hope you're doing well. Dan Sawyer. Dan Sawyer is watching as well. Nice to see you looking in, big fella. Hope things are good with you. Denise Driscoll as well tuning in. Let's have a look. Who else have we got? Anybody got any comments? Let's have a quick look. Rachel Hanson from Nottingham. She says hello. Morning, she says, from Nottingham. How's the weather in Nottingham at the moment? Right, I think I'm going to bang it on the head there. Somebody's telling me. I thought I was late. Morning, Ginge. We've booked our flights now. Oh, that's Rachel who said that. Can I just say this? Please ignore sometimes what the British government has to say. Please, if you want to book a holiday, book it. Once again, remember those rules. Don't book it on a debit card. Book it on a credit card. Don't accept vouchers. Move your holiday to another time, another date. And if need be, if all falls through, ask for a refund, all right? That's it. But please don't be frightened to not book a holiday. If you want to come, hopefully by the end of July, we might have a bit of a clearer picture as to where we're going to go. As you know, things keep changing all the time. people keep changing their minds, changing their decisions, and all we can do is stay flexible, I suppose. That's the bottom line of it. The Greek government at the moment is encouraging people to come. They're making it easy for people to come. The people who are not making it easy is the British government, basically chopping and changing, umming and ahhing, not giving a concise answer to a direct question. Are we going to go on holiday? And you'll get a burble, and then hasn't the vaccination process been fantastic? And not only that, but that comment has been picked up even in the Houses of Parliament, where at Prime Minister's questions time, you ask a direct question to the Prime Minister, reference British industry, you'll get a burble, and then you'll get a, hasn't the vaccination process been successful in the NHS? And that seems to be the stock answer for everything, you know. Anyway, that's by the by. Big shout out to Mr. Clifford down there in Kalamaki. Nice to see you. And also Christine Wildridge as well. And Rachel Hansen says dull. Oh, bless. That's the weather in Nottingham at the moment. Anyway, that's it from me. I'm going to disappear away. I'll keep my ear to the ground. If I hear of anything, I will let you know. And once again, thank you for all those people who keep sending me little messages, little stories, little bits of information. And can I also say a big shout out to the guy yesterday, and I have totally forgotten your name. I was down in Kalamaki yesterday, down at Costa's Pool Bar, and I met somebody who's basically on the run from the UK. He's got his laptop, he's working offline, as it were, with his business. He's brought his wife and his family over just to enjoy themselves, and they said, Ginge, me and my wife are both not vaccinated, we're here, we're going to stick it out as long as we can, see how things change. He says, I'm still working online because all I need is a decent internet connection, and I can still do my job, I can still make money, and I can sit here in the sun, the kids can play in the pool, my wife is happy, and he says, and I can get on. And I never realised, he said to me yesterday, he says, did you DJ our wedding in 2012? I says, I can't remember. Anyway, we got chatting. But again, there are people like that who are coming over and saying, sod it, we're still going to move, we're still going to travel, and we've not been vaccinated. We just follow the procedure that the Greek government want, and we'll worry about going home when it comes to going home. Hopefully by that time, things may have changed, or maybe things have got worse. Who can tell? But anyway, that's it from me. I'll speak to you again soon. You take care. Have a great day.